Scientists have been studying this coronavirus, COVID-19, very closely. They're trying to figure out where it's come from, where it's going. Rochelle, you have a scientist alongside with you this morning, helping kind of shed some light on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a virologist joining us again, and SARS-CoV-2 is, of course, the virus that leads to COVID-19. We're going to learn a lot more on what led to SARS-CoV-2. And joining me now is Jared Rawell, who's with the Department of Medical Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. So it all comes down to one creature. Tell me about that.
All right. Well, bats are the second most diverse group of mammal species on the planet. So with over 1,300 species, there's a lot of diversity there with viruses especially. So we've known in the scientific community for several decades that these viruses are circulating in these bats, and it's only a matter of time before they spill over into humans. So what we need to do is kind of trace back and try to find out what species of bats these viruses came from, so we can learn more about how to mitigate and deal with these outbreaks as they occur.
Now, we know that it's causing this one, or there's some sort of mutation with bats in this case with COVID-19. But bats have also been responsible for things like Ebola, the original SARS.
Yes.
What else?
So MERS coronavirus was actually traced back to an Egyptian tomb bat, and then it spilled over into camels as an intermediate host. And then so with these newer viruses, SARS spilled over into intermediate hosts in China and then found hosts in humans. And then with this one, it's suggested so far that pangolins could be an intermediate host where these viruses are coming out and infecting humans.
So what kind of work are you doing here to figure this all out?
So my focus on my research right now is basically to try and tease out why bats are the host reservoirs for all these deadly viruses, and try to tease out some of their immunological control of why bats don't get sick and they're asymptomatic and carry these viruses, but then why they become deadly when they spill over into humans. So it's a really important area of research that's really getting a lot of attention right now, especially over the last few decades with the emergences of all these really deadly viruses.
And hopefully your research can help maybe find a vaccine someday. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Now, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about the latest on COVID-19 and what you need to keep in mind if you're in isolation at home, and if you still have to go to work, what you need to do.
All right, a lot of great information still ahead. Thanks for that, Rochelle. Well, he recently